Hello, awakened being. Welcome to this channel. Here I do tarot and oracle readings to support you along your spiritual journey. If that interests you, feel free to check out any other content on the channel as well as interact with this video as you feel called to. Today's reading is for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the next 30 days. Okay, what blessings are coming your way? What can you expect? What's going on? Any blockages? Okay, so the next 30 days for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, and what is the blockage, please? Okay. Okay, we have Eight of Cups at the back of the deck. So I do see that you are walking away from something. It could have to do that you're following some sort of passion or soul's calling, or just kind of feeling like you need to take space away, vacation, PTO, something like that. But I do see you like withdrawing. This could be in a brighter sense of like, oh, I am closing a chapter and beginning a new one, or this is healing for me. Or it could be, on the opposite end where you could just be feeling very withdrawn, introverted, and, lacking energy. Okay. So I do feel that for some of you tuning in. Okay. We have King of Wands here. So for those of you, you could be walking away from a particular person who could be, another fire sign or have fire prominent in their chart. But I do also feel like if this is just you personally, Eight of Cups with the King of Wands is letting me know that you could be stepping away just to rejuvenate yourself. And like I said vacation, PTO, or, just withdrawing, things like that. So yeah, with the King of Wands, this person is very resourceful. They're very wise when you're dealing with the king. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like the king is dispersing their fire in a way that makes sense. Like, they're not leaving themselves to burn out. They're just being resourceful. They know how to like balance what they need, I guess, and where to put their energy into. So with this Eight of Cups, I do definitely see for a majority of you, it's more about healing and restoration. Okay. We also have Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords, excuse me. And Ten of Swords is, an ending, right? But again, with an ending comes a beginning. So I just feel like maybe you're assessing like where your energy is going and just kind of putting some flames out in order to rejuvenate you and keep your own fire going. It's like you have to sacrifice some connections or some sort of things, but I don't feel, you could be a little sad about it. That's what I was picking up a little bit earlier, but I definitely feel like you understand the need for what's happening. You understand how it can benefit you and, the change or transformation that you're going through. So I definitely feel like you're just kind of coming out brighter. Yeah, you're coming out brighter and better. Okay. Let's see here. We got Ace of Pentacles. Again, like I said, with with an end comes a beginning. So that's this Eight of Pentacles here, where you're closing a chapter but opening a door to a structure that's beginning. So this could be anything. It could just be like a new sense of self, especially with that Eight of Cups, but it could also be, a new friendship, a new relationship, a new networking, collaborative experience, or just something that it's really just a seed that you're planting. Okay, so and seeds, when it comes to planting them, it really just starts with a decision. So honestly, this could represent just a decision that you're making within the next 30 days that literally is something to grow throughout, the next 30 days, right? So let's get a little bit into that. Let's get an oracle card for the Ace of Pentacles, please. Okay, we have Perseverance. Okay, so this could be something that you put off, like a seed that you wanted to plant a little bit ago or a while ago. Or it could just be a seed that came across your mind with just other transitions or changes that you've been experiencing. But at the end of the day, oops, you have Perseverance here. And so this does let me know that this could be a new friendship connection, or, this could be a family member or somebody coming in to just kind of support this next start of your journey. And I do feel like you're a little shocked or surprised at what this is coming in. So again, it can represent a person. It could represent you planting your own seed, or you could just be shocked at your own self. Like you're making decisions that you wouldn't have before, or you're acting or behaving in a way that you wouldn't have done before, that kind of thing. But I just get this energy of somebody being shocked. Okay. But I do feel you being supported as well with this perseverance card. Okay. So I definitely feel like whatever you're planning, there's support with this growth throughout the next 30 days. Okay, let's go ahead and tune into this here. We got the Chariot. Look, I just said that. So, the wheels are turning, movement is happening here. Let me get an oracle for that. I do feel like whatever this transformation or change you're experiencing, like with your own energy, your aura, your situation, I just feel like it's very graceful or elegant. Like it feels like a beautiful experience. So that might be something that you think or feel about what's happening over time. Like I feel like you're telling me that this situation is becoming more beautiful or hopeful, something like that. Okay. Clarify, Chariot. We do have Destiny. Look at that. So yeah, this is interesting. You could be dealing with an Aries or have Aries in your chart, because they also had the Lovers that came out. And this is very much like not a replica of the card, but it just came back up into my mind. So that could be significant for you. But also Aries represents movement, right? They take initiative, they take action. And, we got that coming out with Destiny and the Chariot. So I definitely feel like, especially coming from the Ace of Pentacles, that you've got some forward movement with something in particular. You got some growth of a seed. You got some growth of a relationship. I just feel like this is very healing and supportive for you, though. But there's some lessons here as well. So if you look here, you've got 2 teachers. Okay, so for some of you, maybe a teacher is coming in to help you with the next part of your journey in terms of, schooling, learning a skill, something like that. Or really just like a partner or a person who is very insightful. And Aries can be, this isn't for everybody. You might not be dealing with Aries or anything like that, but I'm just saying Aries did come up just now. So they can be mentors sometimes. They can, love to teach people or share what they know and stuff like that. So that could have some significance here in your reading. But anyway, yeah, you got some mentorship. Also, my throat. Something's going on with my throat. It feels like there's a tight squeeze, but I'm not inhibited from talking. So I don't know. We were just talking about mentorship and, learning. So maybe that's about that. Maybe like and I did say that I felt like you'd be shocked. So maybe there's some sort of lesson or information coming in from somebody that you're not expecting, and Spirit is communicating to kind of like listen and be quiet. Because yeah, there's like this squeeze on my throat. Okay. This is the blockage here. We got Temperance. So this is about, for me, this is about transmutation, but it's also about remaining calm. If you look at this person, she's out in front of the water just being, calm. But there's this balance between elements, or transmutation of elements, where you're taking like fire and turning it into water or something like that. I was going to say that religious thing, but where you take red stuff and turn it into wine, right? Not you, but like the story, right? The metaphor. But anyway, so I don't know if that has to do with religion here or a spiritual journey, because again, we have Destiny and we do have 8 of Cups. So you could be on some sort of spiritual journey here. And like I said, mentorship. So somebody could be, changing religions or evolving religion, spirituality, learning, Reiki, Buddhism, I don't know, something like that. So for somebody here in particular, it could involve that sort of learning because that came up. But in terms of the challenge, we have temperance here. So I definitely would, be mindful of keeping your cool. I feel like it's coming from, I feel like for some of you, we don't have the tower here, but I just feel like for some of you, if this involves like, learning something in particular, that be patient with yourself. That's exactly yep. Be patient with yourself. If you're learning something or going through something for the first time or momentum's picking up and, it's very shocking to you, things like that, definitely be patient with yourself. Keep calm, keep cool, and just kind of ride the wave. Okay. That's the challenge. So that's your advice right there. All right, last thing. We got 7 of Wands. Okay, let's see what's going on there. Mysticism. Okay, what else? Clarify 7 of Wands. Hold on. We got cut ties, creativity, mindfulness. Okay, yeah, we were talking about all of that. Mindfulness, creativity, and cut ties. So with the 7 of Wands, I feel like maybe for the next 30 days, you're going to have to protect your peace. And so right at the beginning, and first of all, we just talked about temperance, about being cool and stuff. But right at the beginning, we were talking about you cutting off some things to restore your energy, putting out some fires, focusing your intention and on yourself. So we got mindfulness and cut ties and mysticism. So I do feel like, this next part of your journey, in order for you to move forward, I would expect, just protecting more of your peace. And Spirit is, I just heard it, telling me to tell you to be mindful of what you're saying to others. There are certain people that should not know your business. Okay, so we got the mysticism, we got the door closed, and 7 of Wands typically is somebody defending their position or, defending themselves or situation, whatever it is. So there is a message here where you may have to put your foot down and, keep some things to yourself or keep some people out of your business in order to protect your peace, in order to protect what is meant for you, what you're going towards, your movement and progress. All right. So I do see that. Let's give you your last card here. Whoa. Solitude. There it is. Once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. All right. So that is your reading. Good luck on your journey. Take care.